What's up, everybody, and welcome to a special Shock and Awe Toy Reviews. It is our top 5 toys of 2021. We do this at the end of the year after everything we've bought, even stuff we haven't necessarily reviewed. We pick 5 of our favorite and list them out here. Me, Toast, and Berg will give you our list. But before we get started, I just want to ask that you like and subscribe to the channel and give this video a nice thumbs up if you could. So none of these toys are on the list this year. Anybody familiar with last year's list will know this guy, kind of infamous. I'm sure Berg will talk about that whole thing a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, for me, number 5 is the RebelTech Iron Spider. I do want to say, any guys that we've reviewed, we're going to try and put the link up here for you guys to click on. This guy is awesome. He is fun to pose. It's the Iron Spider costume that I like.
Is it the Amazing Yamaguchi?
Yeah, Amazing Yamaguchi RebelTech. And it's from the comic books, and I dug this Iron Spider costume, and they've stylized the legs. Legs are highly posable. You can even get 4 on there if you want. Just like all Amazing Yamaguchi stuff, comes with great accessories like hands and webbing and stuff. And this guy is just highly posable. I mean, look at that crazy whatever I have already going on. It's nuts. So, yeah, this guy, lots of fun. I'm going to say, though, he's only here because I couldn't find the original number 5 that I wanted. Which, shout out to Iron Factory's Ultra Magnus that they did with the super armor.
Oh, I never.
Do you remember that?
I remember.
Yeah, I got him. He was awesome. Can't fucking find him. Can't fucking find him.
So my number 5 for the year is MMC's Getaway, or their Exodus. This guy never entered my main Transformers display. He's been on my work from home desk ever since he came back from the studio from filming. And I look at him every day. I play with him about once a week. I wanted a Getaway for so long before they came out with this guy. We got something like 4 or 5 Hot Rod repaints.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just give me a Getaway. So when he finally came out, I was so happy. I love Cybertronian vehicle modes in general, and this thing just excites me. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love this toy.
If it was last year, and I did it the way I did it last year and previous years, the Captain would for sure be in the top 5.
I thought he would have been.
But because there was one complaint last year that I just went with a guy who didn't even get 5 hammers. This year I went as objective as possible. I did 10 categories.
Oh, wow.
Ranked all 18 of my top 18 of the top toys for the year. And went as scientifically as I could on a subjective scale of 5 out of the 10 categories. And so the Captain didn't make the top 10 on that list. So in spot number 5, based on that weird criteria, we have MMC's Rung figure, Mentos, whatever. He's great. We reviewed him. We said he's great. He's exactly what I wanted. He's exactly what you need. He's perfect. I love him. Great toy.
Probably going to show up again on this video.
Number 4 for me is the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Barbecue figure. Let me tell you, you may be shocked. No one's as shocked as me that this thing made it onto the top 5. All right, but like, there's nothing wrong with him, and he's really posable, highly articulated, like all the articulation points I'd expect from like a Hasbro toy and even more. And even though he seems kind of bulky, he still gets a lot of range in the upper movement, and he's got some cool accessories, and he's just fun. Like, I had a blast when I first got this guy. And I mean, he's like a 5 out of 5.
He came out relatively recently, right?
Yeah, he did, like probably a couple of months ago, I believe. So, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, fun. highly recommend.
Number 4 is the SH Figure Arts Attack on Titan. That can't be right. Is it Attack on Titan?
No,
that sounds wrong. That's an anime.
Yeah, that's an anime.
It's their second version of Doctor Strange, and I love this cape. Like, it's a really great figure. Face sculpt is great. Tons of accessories. This cape is phenomenal. This is the Doctor Strange that I was waiting for. And so he is my number 4 for the year.
Wow.
Something we haven't reviewed, and something that just came in a week ago or so, is the NECA American Werewolf in London Ultimate Kessler Wolf figure. I have wanted this since 1998, 9, whenever Todd McFarlane first did Movie Maniacs, and we all came up with our list of what we wanted. And 2 of my top 10 figures back in that day were the Howling Werewolf and the Werewolf from American Werewolf in London. And boom, 20 some years later, I finally got it. It is a fantastic figure. If we review it, when we review it, it's definitely going to get super high marks. It is a great piece. I highly recommend picking it up. It is awesome. Yeah.
That hair and paint look amazing.
Yeah, it is just phenomenal. And yeah, I've actually been waiting for this thing since a kid named Joey scared the crap out of me when I was like 9 or 10, and we were out at a camp for the day, or we went to some camping ground for the day, and it was just him and me walking around in the woods, and he told me all about American Werewolf in London before I had ever seen it, and it scared the crap out of me. And then I saw the movie finally, and it scared the crap out of me. And I love werewolves, and this is one of the best action figure werewolves I have ever seen, and I'm so happy to have it.
Sweet.
Number 3 is Hasbro Pulse exclusive. I think he's called Master of Disguise Sartan. I could be wrong. I call him color change Sartan because when you get him under cold, like in the fridge, in the freezer, or sort of under cold water, it doesn't work as well on water. He turns blue, and it's a real fun. I mean, it's silly. It's a silly gimmick, but it's a fun.
Is that his skin?
Yeah, his skin. So like here, his face and everything, and it's just a fun gimmick that reminds you of the old toys that they used to do. He also comes with boatload of accessories, some cool accessories. He's got this backpack, which can come off. It's almost like a mini review, but and it holds the different faces that he can use to disguise himself. And he can slide those onto his face. His hood comes off. He's even got, I don't remember what this thing is. Doesn't matter. And he's got a couple of extra separate heads. And then he's also got bow and arrow holder, a giant rifle, and yeah, just cool. Lots of accessories. Got a knife. Lots of accessories. Again, he's highly posable, and he's just fun. Fun for me was the big thing this year. Did I have fun with it? You know, if I get it and I just put it on the shelf, yeah, it may be cool, but I don't mean I enjoyed it as much as something else. So
sure. I pre-ordered this before I saw the Suicide Squad movie, based on the Harley Quinn cartoon. That cartoon is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
And anytime I look at this figure, I don't hear Stallone's voice. I hear Ron Funches's.
Yes.
And he is.
Yes, dude.
He is such a fun toy. This guy's fantastic.
So this isn't the Build-A-Figure. This is the exclusive from.
Yes.
Okay.
And he should be.
He's probably the same thing.
He
right?
should be exactly the same, except I think the color of his shorts are different.
Yeah.
But such a fun toy.
Yeah, it is. I have the Build-A-Figure. Yeah, I agree.
And he's a monster.
Yeah, he is.
Number 3, and this is where my list starts going crazy, because number 3
What are you doing?
is Mezco Conan.
What?
And I thought for sure Mezco Conan would be the number 1 toy of the year.
How is it not?
But according to my 10 categories,
Oh no.
Mezco Conan scored a 47 out of 50. 47 out of 50, ladies and gentlemen. So he comes in third place as the greatest Conan toy I will probably ever own. And if you got one, congratulations, he's awesome. Yeah, somehow he's not the toy of the year. I'm so confused. But it only gets weirder.
Mastermind Creations reformatted R48 Optus Pexus. Also, I think it actually might be Orion Pax, not Optimus.
Yeah.
I call it Yoga Prime because this guy, the huge selling point for me at least, and I think for a lot of people, was the range of articulation on this thing. I mean, it's ridiculous the poses that they can get, not just this shitty one. I mean, as awesome as this shitty pose is, he can really, like, look at that. That's why I call him Yoga Prime, because he can do almost anything. And his only drawback for me is that I'll probably never transform him again outside of the first time, and I don't think it really has anything to do with the difficulty or anything. It's just he's so awesome in robot mode. You almost never want to mess with him. But he's a good figure from the reformatted line, and he was a decent price. So
Number 2 for me is the SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Cooler, and this video hasn't even technically gone live for us yet. We shot it last week, and I had some complaints, but I'm so happy to finally have this figure. I said in the video that I've been waiting so long for this because I watched those early bootleg VHS tapes so many times, and he was such a cool design. I was a huge fan of that movie, and for so long Figure Arts was neglecting making movie figures. So like this, just emotionally, it makes me overlook the faults that I have. Like, I'm just happy that he exists and he's in my house and I get to look at him and play with him.
yeah.
Just emotionally, it overrides the complaints that I have.
I was going to say, because it was kind of a shock when you first put it out, because I watched the video.
Yeah.
And you didn't seem that big on him, even though you gave him a high score.
Yeah.
But, like, the gaps really seemed to bother you. But that makes sense now. If it's that emotional attachment, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, there were some other figures that almost made the cut for similar reasons.
Yeah.
Just like, it means more to me than it physically as a toy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this guy is high on the list.
Cool.
My number 2 toy of the year, which I didn't even think would be in the top 10, but according to this scale out of 50 points, is Goliath. Goliath got 49 points out of 50.
Goliath beat... I don't
Right?
understand what's happening.
And I even went back and watched the review, and I'm like, yeah, no, we gave him 5 hammers.
Okay.
He's good. He's great. He... Literally, the difference between these two guys is Conan is a little more pricey than Goliath is.
Oh my.
Otherwise, they have great articulation, great paint, tons of accessories, great shelf present, great everything. If I had taken negatives, but I didn't want to be negative, Goliath would have fallen because he has a bunch of negatives. But I just went with positive stats.
Okay.
Craziness, right?
All right, and number 1 for me, this is huge. I still love this toy. It's the Flame Toys Arkham Knight figure from the Batman Arkham Knight video game. Now, that is one of my favorite video games.
It's a really good game.
It's an amazing game. It's one of my favorite characters from that game. I love the Arkham Knight character, and I think Flame Toys did an amazing job with their interpretation of him. He's almost like a cyborg, this version, and I just love it. And he came with some great accessories, an awesome rifle. I mean, I have the Play Arts Kai, Arkham Knight, and a couple of others, and this thing just trounces those in not just the amount of accessories, but the kind of accessories that you get, and also once again his range of articulation and his posability is through the roof. It's incredible, and he was expensive. I don't remember. Like ratcheted areas too, where I wouldn't expect ratchets, but it helps that they're there.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, I do remember him being expensive. I'll look it up.
Yeah, he wasn't cheap, but I mean, worth it, man. Number one for sure. For sure.
My number one for the year is MMC's Wrong. I don't remember their name for this. Something. We'll look it up. But again, similarly, I wasn't sure that we'd ever get a Rung just because, like, alt mode wise, he's
not that
he's not that much to look at. But
Mantis R49
Mantis, MMC's Mantis, but he is similar to Cooler, just emotionally. I love looking at. I've got him on the Transformers shelf. He's right next to the co-captains. He's between Megatron and Drift, like front and center. Every time I sit down at my desk, I'm looking at him. It just fills me with joy every time I look at him. Such a fun toy. Yes, he's a little expensive, but I'm, again, happy he's in my house.
And accessories out the butt. Right?
Oh yeah. Tons of heads, faces, hands.
Yeah.
Super fun toy.
Cool.
We didn't even review them. I don't even know if we even talked about them. On this, out of 10 categories, 5 being the best, the only figure to get a 50 out of 50 is NECA's Ultimate Frankenstein Boris Karloff figure.
I'm so confused.
Me too. So yeah, he is a toy. He's a version of a toy that I have wanted for as long as I can remember. I had the 3 3/4 inch Remco guys. I had the 8-inch. Maybe they were Remco as well, where they pressed the button and they had grab and choking action, whatever that was called back in the day. I can't even remember. With the glow in the dark stuff, there was Mummy, Wolfman, Frankenstein, and Dracula. I had all of them, and I had the little guys, like I said, and ever since then I have wanted a super articulated Universal Monsters Frankenstein, and there have been a bunch of versions. I have a Sideshow one that's pretty good. I have the one that had a Build-A-Figure Marvel Legends size, which kind of sucked and was stupid. And I passed on the Diamond Select one because he didn't look as good as I wanted it to be for Diamond Select. And this thing came out, and it hits every goddamn button. It's got great sculpt, great paint, tons of accessories. Articulation is perfect. Everything you want and need a Frankenstein to do, he does. He is great. He comes in 2 versions, so if you want the color version, so he goes well with all your other guys, you can get that one. There's a black and white version if you want to go looks like screen accurate, and he's going to be part of a collection where I'm going to get all of them. So I'm super excited. He's the start of a fantastic new collection. It is a perfect likeness of the Boris Karloff monster, and somehow, some way, being as objective as I could, this is my toy of the year.
Well, so you weren't in the room at the time, but emotion definitely had a factor in my list. I did not go objective, or else my list would have been completely different.
Well, I had originally, last year I went on pure emotion and was called out for putting a figure that I gave a 3 as the toy of the year, Thunderstrike.
That's my way of doing it.
This guy. And so I tried something different this year, went with straight numbers, and I took probably an hour to go through those numbers. And yeah, 50 out of 50. This is my toy of the year. Have it that with you will. I can't believe that 3 NECA toys are my top 5 toys of the year. In a year where Mezco Conan came out, the Captain came out, and how did this happen? This is a travesty. John Walker, Captain America came out. What is going on? And the one I thought for sure would score higher, but he didn't, is Avengers Endgame Fat Thor, who's badass. He didn't make the top 10 based on my stupid objective criteria. I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
I don't know either.
All right, so that's been it for the top 5. Once again, like and subscribe to the channel. Please give it a thumbs up, and please comment below. Let us know your top 5. We'd love to hear it. Follow us on Instagram and all the social media stuff. Links are in the show descriptions. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Toast. Thank you, Berg, who is not here. We are going to try and get an episode coming up soon where all 3 of us can finally be in the room together once again, because no, there's no bad blood going on. It's just a technicality of why Berg and I, behind the scenes bullshit that you don't need to worry about. But thanks again. Hope your 2021 was at least a little better than your 2020, maybe. Who knows? God, let's hope 2022 goes better and more toys coming out. All right.
Thanks for watching.